Would I recommend this movie to anyone? No. What I liked about this movie, I liked the designs of the slugs, and there was a couple cool shots. Now into the bad. We have Disney, the story, the character design, and Disney. This movie will oh so subtly spend the first several minutes of this movie telling you, the audience of stupid children, that the kids' parents are dead. This is relayed through multiple characters in multiple scenes. It gets annoying real fucking quick. Everything afterwards for the next 20 minutes doesn't matter. The kid gets abducted. Also, some of you may have seen trailers for this movie, or some of the marketing, and you'll notice that the kid wears an eye patch throughout this movie. One might assume that he is a disabled child, but no. Disney actually manipulated everyone. It turns out all the kid did was get hit in the head and has a black eye, and then proceeds to wear a patch for the rest of the movie. I honestly thought that Disney would have tried to, go into an interesting story about a disabled kid trying to overcome adversity and challenges throughout a movie, but apparently topics like that are too complicated for children. How unfortunate that kids are stupid, and that is why we never have, and never will, have a story about a main character, about a disabled child, who tries to overcome adversities and challenges throughout their life, overcoming their disability and being a better person. Too bad kids are too stupid to understand such complex topics, and we will never see that. I find it interesting that in a movie about aliens, the only thing that looked cool was the spaceship called the Communiverse. Yes, that is what it's called. It's really stupid. The design was really cool. I'm so glad it was so underutilized throughout this movie. Huzzah. I also find it fascinating that in a movie about aliens, every single one of them looks like a fucking Earth creature. How cool. I also find it fascinating that the only interesting character in this movie was a little baby slug. It was a more interesting character than the main character of the movie. How amazing. Throughout this movie, the main character goes through so many challenges, new problems, and new obstacles in their life. How wonderful that every time he comes across one, it gets immediately resolved by an ass pull or a cop-out, within seconds of him being presented by a new challenge. Amazing writing. Shakespeare would be proud. The last shot in the movie, in which again we see the Communiverse, is really well animated. I am once again so glad it was so underutilized throughout this movie. And I'm also glad that after this movie, I thought it would be fun to go to Taco Bell to cheer myself up. But it turns out I can still continue to be disappointed. It will never cease to amaze me with how special humanity is. I now abandon my former title, for I am now Trevior. Hear me roar. I am so glad that after a shitty 10-hour shift, I had the pleasure of watching another shitty Disney movie, and then eating some shitty food. I love my life.